Come into the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay, and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all, thank you so much for allowing me to join you on your ride home, join you as you're cooking, join you as you are out shopping, getting these kids ready to go back to school. Thank you all so much. Please do me a favor. You all go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel. That's the J Spot Radio or www.thejspot.com. Go subscribe to our channel there, guys. We have some content there that is only exclusively on YouTube. So definitely subscribe to our channel there. And also go and like and follow us on TikTok. That's the J Spot, Jaye. Guys, and turn on the notification bell for all platforms. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Guys, we have an amazing show lined up for you tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our hot topics. Now, listen, when I saw this, I'm just going to get right into it. Now, you all listen, what do you all feel about this? When you are dating someone and listen, it's getting a little sticky. So you know what? You decide to try to, spice the relationship up and do all of this craziness. So you decide, you think for somewhere up in your mind, and some people, listen, I don't even want to call it the mind, but somewhere somebody thought that it was a good idea to have a threesome. Now, if you are one of those that decide to have a threesome, no judgment here. Do what you got to do. Rock out. But listen, it is being reported that what is his name? Lil Scrappy and his girlfriend had a threesome. Okay, wait a minute. It gets better. So they invited her best friend into the said threesome. Okay. If having a threesome is not risky enough as it is, okay, bar none, it's risky enough as it is. That's having a threesome. That's not you got that too far down. That's so if that's not risky enough, so then you decide that's perfect. And then you decide to bring a friend along. Not only a friend, best friend, okay? If that's not bad enough, okay? You could tell that this was not a well thought out situation. So they go ahead and knock it out, have the little threesome, just, go ahead on and get it in. But at the end of the threesome, months later, the best friend finds out that she is pregnant by Scrappy. Oh, y'all heard me right. The best friend finds out that she is pregnant by Lil Scrappy. Now, when I say that has to be the stupidest threesome setup ever. First of all, why would you have a threesome with your girl's best friend? That's the first thing. Second thing, why would you all not, and I repeat, why would you not use protection? Like, I mean, come on, like that is just nasty, nasty, nasty to the fullest extent. You have a threesome with your girl's best friend, didn't use no protection. Now she pregnant. Now the girlfriend got rocks in her jaws. Why, Sway? I don't understand. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think if you guys did not protect yourselves in this stupid setup? I don't understand what did you think was going to happen in that situation? Again, do whatever you want to do with these threesomes, knock yourself out. Threesomes are already not, like, in my opinion, the best type of situations to be involved in unless everybody has their emotions in check. But if you are someone that knows that you will not do well in a situation like that you don't share well with others, you don't do any of that, listen, why get into a situation like that? Michael, hey Michael, how you doing? He's saying nasty work indeed. Threesomes lead to nothing but problems. Sounds like a good idea at the time, but always causes trouble, especially when a best friend is involved. Lord Tanae, hey, how you doing? He's saying no. Listen, they are not. My thing is this: if you are not in a serious relationship, then listen, I'm like this. By all means, do whatever it is your nasty, freaky little heart desires to do, because that's the time to get it out. Like, I mean, get it out your system. Do what makes you happy, So I have no problem with that. You're not in a serious relationship, but the moment you get involved in a serious relationship and then you go and you're going out to explore, these are the tales, all the freaky tales. You going back to your 2 short days. Listen, there are bound to be there are bound to be some repercussions after a decision like that. So, was that a good idea? Absolutely not. I think that again, he was thinking with his nether regions. He did not think that thing through. All he thought about was all of the unsolicited. Oh, he was like, oh yes, I'm finna get it from. Oh yeah, bounce that thing on me, yeah, girl. You know how I like it. Now look, now he mad. Now why? My thing is this. Now why? Listen, why you trying to be mad now? Why are you mad? What you mad for, Sway? What are you mad for? Because she got pregnant. Well, guess what? You did. That's not what it was supposed to be for. Well, sir, let me tell you this. You should have protected your best interest. And everybody involved, in my opinion, failed to protect themselves. So now, no doubt, the best friend and the girlfriend, listen, they are at each other's nasty little throats, as you should be. But can you really be mad? So my question is this: what are your guys' thoughts on having threesomes in a serious relationship or in a marriage? And then, are there steps, are there rules to ensure that nobody gets pregnant in the process? Or is this just, it's a free for all, and you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Because a lot of people definitely go through life, with that type of frame of mind. Whatever happens, I'm gonna leave it to chance. So whatever happens is supposed to happen. I don't necessarily see it that way, but a lot of people definitely operate, and a lot of people definitely think like that. So would you set up some ground rules, and would you have a threesome with your best friend? Ladies, if you are into that type of thing, would your best friend be the chick that you want to have this experience with? I mean, that takes being best friends to a whole different level. And I don't have any best friends that I want to be that close with. So you have a threesome, you didn't use any protection, and then you had the threesome with your best friend, then your best friend ends up getting pregnant. Now everybody mad. It ain't man. It ain't man. You know how she get down. Yeah, she get down just like you, nasty son of a gun. She get down just like all of you nasty sums. So knock yourself out. But my thing would be this: if I was into sharing my schlong dong, first of all, I'm not sharing my schlong dong. Let's just get that out there. Let's just put that out there in the atmosphere. Let's just let that be known. I'm not sharing. I don't share my coffee creamer and I don't share my schlong dong. Okay. So those are things that I don't share. We can talk. I'm sure there are a few other things that I don't share, but those are the most important right now. I don't share my schlong dong. So, but for those that are, sharing is caring, that, go under that type of umbrella, what is it okay? What are their protocol? Are there rules to this threesome business? Or did they, listen, we all knew what was involved. We all knew what the risks were. We're getting pregnant, I'm sure, was not a part of that threesome plan. But I really don't think, me personally, I don't think that threesomes are a good idea. But at the end of the day, to each his own. Hey, pretty Tasha, how you doing? But if you are going to participate in said act, I mean, I would now. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I am open-minded, okay? And say, yes, I'll be on board for it. Let me tell you, the first of all, we're signing contracts. We listen, I will be up in that mug like a referee. There will be no kissing, there will be no eye contact, and there will be no holding and no, passionate kiss. There will be none of that. You could just you have to bang her out like some type of porn star if I were to be on board with a threesome. You would have to just slut her totally out. And if you are in that and that's what you want, and you leave me after that, then listen, that was the chance that I took. But you will not be kissing her, and you definitely will be using protection, and she will be on some type of protection, because at the end of the day, who wants to have to deal with this? So now, according, obviously they want to deal with it, because they did not take the necessary steps and the necessary precautions to prevent that, the kid, the pregnancy from happening. Because listen, I'm going to tell you this, condoms are not 100%. Birth control are not 100%. But I think that if you put the two together, I think that you have a pretty good chance of being safe, okay? One without the other, listen, the stats, the percentages are there. But I think that you got a pretty good shot of being okay without, creating a kid in that type of situation. But if it so happens that, she gets pregnant after all of it, listen, that was just, listen, let the Lord's will be done. If you protected yourself and she protected herself and she still got pregnant, that y'all was just supposed to be parents. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to give them a coffee and I'm going to go ahead on and leave. You all were just supposed to be parents. That's all I can say about that. But if you did not protect yourself, what did you think was going to happen? So in my opinion, I don't think that the girlfriend has a right to be mad with the best friend. Lil Scrappy definitely don't have the right to be mad at anybody but himself. For, why you fell for the dump, like you fell for the okey doke. Again, he's sitting there, he's just like, oh yeah, yeah, as they doing any and everything to him, having the time of his life. Then when you get that text message, I'm late. He like, late for what? Bama, you know what I'm late for. You know what you did 6 weeks ago, 6 Fridays ago. You know what you did. That's what I'm late for. Don't play these games. That's what I'm late for. Now everybody mad. So be careful when opening up Pandora's box in a situation like that. We got to be careful with things like that, because again, no doubt now the relationship is probably going to be over. He probably going to be pressing her to get an abortion and all this other foolishness. Why? Why? Why press for an abortion when you didn't press for using protection? Nobody pressed for using protection. Now, all of a sudden, well, Jay, that's not what the purpose of it was. They didn't do it to create a kid, but a kid was created. because they didn't handle their business. So again, when you doing that type of stuff, I would say, listen, do that when you single. When you're single, but I would not be advising threesome in a serious relationship, and especially not a marriage, because again, listen, feelings, people catch feelings, the other people, listen, she probably done bust that thing open wider than you did, or she done, oh, and especially, oh, let me tell you, another two rules that I just thought about. You will not be slurping his slong dong, and he will not be lapping your puddle of love. Okay, we will have none of that. Okay, so again, you could just listen, just put a bag over her head, a pillowcase or something. We'll cut the nose out so she can breathe and everything. But she will just, it will be like the most craziest threesome situation that you could ever think of. If I were to say, you know what, I'll do that. Let me go. Let me do that for my. I love my boo. And for the girl, listen, for the new girlfriend, listen, little Scrappy ain't much. You done seen how his life done played out. Now he might be different in real life, but I'm gonna say this: he have a long-term relationship with the first baby mama. That was ended crazy. He married the chick that he was cheating on the baby mama with, had a few kids with her, and that didn't work out. And now here you go. Just a few months after that whole debacle of him getting divorced. So I would just say, you know what? Maybe you're not the serious relationship that you think you are, because of the type of threesome that he engaged in with you. So maybe you're not, maybe the relationship ain't that deep for him, because I can't see a man that cares for you. I know, listen, I know they are some little freaky little toads. I do know that, and I accept that. I respect that. But I cannot see him, a man that cares about you, wanting that threesome to be with your best friend. That's just me. I could be wrong. Now, I'm not saying that if you give a man a threesome, he not gonna take it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, I just think that it's weird to me that he would choose the woman, or allow the woman that he's going to engage in that threesome with, that he would allow that to be your best friend, somebody that is going to still be around. I wouldn't even be comfortable with that. Like, that this is supposed to be your friend. So it's just like, why would you like, I don't understand. Like, why would you even want that to be the case, like your best friend, and she's around? So wouldn't you think that, listen, while you're at work, or while you getting your lashes done, or while you getting, your tracks glued in, I would be thinking that they would be kind of creeping around and just like, like messing around. So I don't know, just be careful and be mindful of the stuff that you kind of put yourself in, the situations that you put yourself into, because to me, this is definitely a situation that did not have to go that way. Like, you didn't have to be involved in that situation, but you chose to put yourself in that situation because of your little freaky little desires. And so now here you are crying, and we're laughing because we're like, okay, now that was a dumb move. Like, why would you do some crazy ish like that? But again, a threesome, what do you guys think? Would you have a threesome? If so, would you allow the person that you're having a threesome with? Would you choose your best friend? Would you choose somebody that you know? Or would it be some random person that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but you know what? It's gonna be some protocol to it, and I'm definitely not having anybody that I know, because again, that will definitely be the deal breaker. I'm like, listen, you getting lucky to even be able to have me to agree to this part of it, but I'm gonna set the rules up. I'm gonna protect us, and if you still go out and creep with this person behind my back, then again, it was just meant for this whole situation to be over, said and done with, because you chose to go out and you chose to go elsewhere with that whole situation. But again, you all be mindful. Listen, ladies, do not be letting these guys talk y'all into all of this foolishness. especially if you know that you don't have thick skin to handle those type of situations. Do not allow yourself to be talked into that dumb ish. Yeah, come on over here. I'm gonna have a threesome. Then have you turned out. Listen, he cheating with this chick, and listen, you over there now. He got you thinking that you really like women, but you only in this because this is what he wanted you to do. Be wise, be mindful, use your own mind. Just listen, just say no, say no. Now, listen, speaking of baby mamas, okay, and just saying no, what do you all think about this? Listen, the lady is saying the sex does not count, relations does not count if it lasted under 3 minutes, or if the dude used the condom, it don't count. What do you all think about that? They say that that does not count as a body. Ladies, is that accurate? And fellas, do you believe in that ideology? Are you on board with that statement? It does not count as a body if it lasted under 3 minutes, meaning that he and then that's it. That was it. Like you like a whole 30 seconds. They're saying it don't count as a body. If he used the condom, then that does not count as a body. What do you all think about that? Is that a true statement? That is not a body if you use protection, or if he and 30 seconds later it was over. Under 3 minutes, they are saying that that is not relations, that you did not have relations. Again, if it was protection involved, or he just like limp. Listen, he was finished before the race even started. They're saying that that does not count as sex. Now, I will say that these are new people that are saying that. So let me know what you all think about that. Lord Tanae, you're saying they are mentally ill. Wait, so they mentally ill because they're saying, listen, he wrapped up, it don't count. Because the reason why it does not count is because your flesh did not touch my flesh. You see what I'm saying? There was a barrier in between us, so it doesn't count, because our fluids did not intertwine. That's one reason. The other reason is they're saying, listen, he went in and he had to come right back out, because that was it. He was finished before the job was even done. Rahim, you're saying not at all. You're saying once you put it in, it's a done deal. But wait, Rahim, he had a condom on. They saying it don't count if he used a condom, or if he just got in, and that was it. Listen, she like, wait, what happened? Nothing happened for me, so it doesn't count. Now, Lord Tanae, you're saying that's BS. Come on, ladies, let me know if anybody believes in that. Rahim is saying, don't matter. You still did it with him, and it's still a body. I want to know from the ladies, y'all getting quiet. Listen, y'all getting kind of quiet. Does that count? Do you subscribe to that ideology? And again, this was, I have to say, probably under 30 that made this comment, that made the comment that said, you know what? It don't count as having relations. It doesn't count as being a body if he used a condom, or if the session lasted 30 seconds. They said 3 minutes. They said if it lasted 3 minutes or less. I was saying 30 seconds, but they said 3 minutes. If it lasted 3 minutes or less, or if the guy wore a condom, baby, that was not a body. You ain't slept. You ain't did it to nobody. You have not did the horizontal mumbo with nobody. If it falls into that criteria, if it falls into the criteria of him using protection or 3 minutes or less, you ain't did it. You ain't did it at all. You have not done nothing with nobody. So listen, do not even worry about it. You didn't do it. Ladies, what do you think about that? Again, I think that this is definitely a new chicks type of these new people, this is their ideology. It definitely sounds like something like that. I believe that if you did have sex, I don't care how long it is, like Rahim said, the moment he enters your body, you have had relations. I don't care how long it was. Rahim is saying once she's penetrated, that's it. I totally agree. Once that hit come and knock on the door, once you let him in, that's it. It don't matter how long he visited. It don't matter if he peeked, he said peekaboo. It don't matter. You have still had relations. It doesn't matter if he wore a condom. He should be wearing a condom, but it is still relations because you need to protect yourself. So it's like you can't be saying, listen, this is crazy. This is how Lil Scrappy and his girl got the girl in the threesome pregnant by this type of mindset, not wanting to use protection. You got to use protection. So even if she did, again, it is still a body, beloved. You did do the horizontal mumble, beloved. So it is another body. So if with these young chicks, they thinking like this, baby, they racking their toll charge up and saying it don't. So fellas, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna come on over y'all side, and I'm not trying to be a pick me and all this and that. I'm not, but I can with that statement being made, I can understand how some of you all, some of the younger guys, because these old, listen, 30, 35 and up, 30 plus, this should not even be a part of your thinking. So I'm just going to hope that this is just for the new chicks that kind of think like that. But I can understand a little of why you all might be a little hesitant when when you ask a question and say, what's your body count? Even though I don't think that, you know, you need to be asking that. Like, don't set yourself up. But I can understand now from this example and this way of thinking, I can understand why men might be hesitant and why men may say, you know what, they ain't gonna do nothing but lie. That's how whatever number they saying, they gonna lie. They gonna subtract some. And you know what? I can understand this right here, this statement and this thinking. If they take this type of statement and thinking to heart, I can understand why some of you all might have a little, have a few trust issues. I can see why you all might have, a few challenges in that area. And I can definitely understand that. But again, at the end of the day, there when you do it, it's done. Like Rahim said, once there is some penetration, it's a done deal. Like there's no, you can't turn back the hands of time. That's it. You may as well go all the way. Listen, whether it's 3 minutes or not, listen, you better grab that thing, shake it, choke it, bring it back to life, and you better get your, well, that's going to be a whole different conversation, but don't you sit up here and just let them choke out, spit up what they going to spit up, and you still sitting up there, you like, what just happened? I know it's not over, beloved. It might be over that soon, but you still, you did it. You gave it up to him. You probably, I know you might be having buyer's remorse, and that's why you said what you said as far as, you know what, listen, it don't count. It don't count because you did not have an enjoyable experience. And I'm sorry that you did not have an enjoyable experience, but you did do it to the man and you gave it to him. And I'm sorry that it wasn't what you thought it was cracked up to be, but you did it. Now, listen, speaking of you did it, ladies, what would you think about this request? So you're about to go on a date, first date with a man, and he requests that you come with no makeup on. How would you feel about that? And would you go? He's saying, you know what? Listen, it's the first date. He's like, listen, I prefer for you not to wear any makeup. So please come to the date without any makeup on. Are you going to go? Are you going to, or are you going to think something's wrong with him? Or are you going to think that, you know what? Listen, I don't even know you like that, fam. this is just a little bit too much. I'm trying to, you know what, listen, I'm trying to be comfortable. I want to wear and dress how I want to dress. I don't need you dictating to me how I should come to a date. Ladies, how would you feel about that? Would you say, you know what, listen, okay, you know what? I can honor that. I don't have a problem with coming to the date without any makeup on. I can definitely do that. Or would you say, you know what? Ooh, no, that's a red flag. That's a red flag for me because he asked me to show up to the date as I am without any makeup on. And for ladies that love makeup, or for ladies that don't, like, you know, you wear a little makeup here, little makeup there, would you have a problem with that request? So as for me, like, I don't wear a lot of makeup, so I wouldn't have a problem with, you know, showing up without makeup because I'm like, listen, 90% of the time in my everyday regular life, I don't really have makeup on. I'm like, because I'm outside. Like, I'm outside. So I'm just outside. And that's just what it is. You see me, you don't, you don't. The only thing is, I probably, you know, I don't like being outside without my hair fixed. That's like the only thing. But as far as makeup, baby, as long as I got me a tube of chapstick, I'm good to go. That's all the makeup that I need. Me and my chapstick will go far in this world. But as far as requesting to not come with makeup, I don't think that I would have a problem with that. Let me see, Pretty Tasha, you're saying I would tell him that I'm not ashamed to go without makeup, but he not going to be telling me when to wear it and when not to wear it. And I think that that's a fair point, but I just want to play devil's advocate. I would think that if a man has requested that a woman not wear makeup for a date, I would say that he has met his fair share of women that look extremely different without makeup on, and he kind of wants to see what he's dealing with. And I don't think that I don't think that a man would be wrong for that, wanting to see what they're dealing with without, you know, a woman without all that makeup on. Because let's be honest, listen, we do have some women out here, baby, that will cake it all the way on. They cake it on. And then when they take it off, they look extremely different. You've seen them and I've seen them. Listen, I've seen some of these women without their makeup, and I'm just like, well, god dog, what has happened here? So I can understand why he would be asking that. Pretty Tasha, you're saying if he want a woman natural, then he needs to find him a woman that don't wear makeup at all. I can understand that, but again, I'm gonna give you a little pushback. Maybe he doesn't mind her wearing makeup. He just wants to see how she looks without the makeup, because again, we got women that, you know, look extremely different without makeup on. So he wants to know who he's waking up to, because let's be honest, the woman he's going to bed with that's all beautified and made up with all the makeup and looking good, the lashes and everything, baby, she is the bomb. But then when she wake up in the morning, she looking like a bomb done hit her. And I feel like that's no more than fair that because the makeup, we got to be honest. The makeup is getting out of control. Like, all this is it's so much that, again, we as women, if we're willing to be honest, we have seen women that have worn all this makeup, and then you catch them on a down day and you like, oh shoot, God dog it, what done? What in the world? You like, what's up? Clyde. I mean, oh, Claudia. Girl, I thought you listen. I thought you was your daddy for Mr. Raymond. I thought you was Miss. Listen, let's not act like we ain't seen that. Some of this makeup and this hair is just like, listen, when you take it off, you look like a totally different person. And I don't feel as though a man is wrong for asking that. But again, like Pretty Tasha, like you said, I would tell him that I'm not ashamed to, you know, to come outside natural without makeup on, but I don't need you to tell me when and where to wear makeup or how I should wear it and this and that. I don't think that he should be able to do that. However, I do believe that, if he wants to see you, I think for me, it would be all about the tone. How did he say it? What was the context in which that request was made? And then I will know how to assess what his true intent was behind it. Meaning, did he ask me from a place where, he's just trying to, make sure you are who you say you are, or that you're not all makeup and foundation and huff and puff and fluff. He's trying to make sure that, or is he saying it in a controlling manner where, well, come to this first date, come to the date, and I don't need you having no makeup on because I like my women without makeup and da 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 da. If he's that dude, then yeah, that might be a red flag. And like you said, Pretty Tasha, he might need to deal with a chick that does not wear makeup. But if he asked it as a request, I wouldn't see anything wrong with it. And if you are a woman that needs makeup for whatever reason, skin issues, whatever the issue is, I would definitely, see that as the time to, kind of explain why you wear the makeup and how it makes you feel. So everything is, should be up for a conversation, but I wouldn't necessarily just jump to the defense. Would I be shocked and would I be surprised? Yes, because that's not a common thing that men would ask. That's not a common. I've never been asked that. I don't know anybody that has ever had that be requested of them. So would I be shocked? Yeah, of course it would be shocking. I'll be surprised. I'm like, okay, dig, where that come from? But then it will cause me to kind of dig a little deeper to figure out, like, okay, well, why is this? Why is this his request? And like, what's going on? What caused him to, be in this situation and where he feels as though, he needs to request that a woman not wear makeup? Like, what happened? Who hurt you, sir, or who tricked you? And why do you feel the need to ask a woman to not wear makeup? So is he wrong for not wanting her to wear makeup? I wouldn't think that it's wrong. I wouldn't see a problem with that type of request. But again, I would want to know where that is coming from, and then we can kind of, deal with it, from that point. We will see, listen, is it coming from a demanding place, or is it coming from a place where, yo, I ain't trying to get catfished. I ain't trying to be in this situation where, you know what I'm saying, you got all this makeup on and you don't look like what you put, you don't look like all that MAC and all that Ultra and Sephora. You don't look like all of that underneath when you take everything off. So if he's looking out for his best interest, I really don't think that should be an issue. But again, I think that it's all about the way it's said. Lord Tanae, you're saying he will see her without makeup soon enough. So do you think that he shouldn't ask that? Do you think that he was wrong, Lord Tanae? Do you think he was wrong for asking for the woman to not have on any makeup? Do you think that he was out of line for that? Or do you think that, what, he was well within his rights to ask her to not, wear any makeup? What do you think about that? Would you ask a woman not to wear makeup? Or do you think, am I looking at it wrong? Am I giving this man too much grace? Is this a situation where it's like, nah, Jay, Buddy was out of line for that, where he don't have a right to ask a woman to not wear makeup. That's her right. She can do whatever it is that she wants to do. He has no right to ask her not to wear makeup or anything like that. He has no right to do that if that's their stance on it. Again, I can totally understand that. Lord Tanae, you're saying, I don't think he was wrong, but it's not necessary. She needs to feel beautiful. I can get that. But now listen, let's just agree. Let's just keep it real though now, Lord Tanae. Like I know, I've seen some. Listen, they are so beautiful. They are darn near perfect. And I'm just like, man, what does she look like up underneath all of that? But again, like you said, she needs that to feel beautiful. And again, there are so many reasons why women wear makeup. So maybe that'll be another show, another time where we can kind of dig into the psychology behind and the reason behind women wearing makeup. and the amount of makeup that is worn, and all the extra bells and whistles that women wear to enhance their beauty. But some men just prefer them to just be natural. Listen, I want to see all of you and all your natural glory. Listen, I know that you have a little cuck snack right here at the back of your neck. Listen, I love you, and in spite of those bugs at the back of your head, I love you in spite of the bugs on the side and all this. I love you in spite of. I love you in spite of the bags or the dark spot. Listen, it's so much stuff that goes on, and so many reasons why women wear makeup. But again, you gotta be on board with it. You gotta be secure with who you are dealing with. But I do believe that men have a right to, request that, at least at some point, I gotta see you without some makeup before I decide to get serious with you. If a man said that, I don't think that he would be wrong for feeling like that. Like, I gotta see what's going on before I decide to get serious, because again, I don't want to get duped thinking that you the chick and all this and that, and you really not. You got all this extra stuff going on, and you not who I thought you were. Like, you got a lot going on, and that's just it, and that's just all. But is he wrong? Absolutely not. Guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break, and when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a
I get so lonely, can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever wanna spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling, my body's calling. I got downtime, out of time. This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. If you got a secret ease, any call in my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby. We can turn it up. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, 'cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Imagine all anticipating is about to go down. I get so lonely. Don't leave me waiting up for you. I get so lonely. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, 'cause I get so I get so
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all go to our page, our Facebook page, and like our page. That's the J Spot. And then go to Twitter and follow us there at Twitter at J Spot. Also go to Instagram and like and follow us there. That's the J Spot. Guys, Jay is Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Boop, boop, boop. Go to YouTube, like and listen, follow us there, subscribe to our channel. That's www.thejspot.com, thejspot.com. Follow us there at YouTube. Then go to TikTok, like and follow us there. That's the J Spot again, guys. J is Jaye. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, 30 and Up, doing us, Tyson Smith, Grown and Sexy Conversations with the J Spot, 180 Real Talk Chicago, Pit Life. Thank you, everybody that rocks with us. We really appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much. Again, please don't forget, go to YouTube. Please, I'm pushing go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Again, that's the jspot.com. Now, listen, guys, here's our next hot topic. Now, what do you guys think about this? The couple just got married and they moved into the home and it was partially furnished. The wife wanted to furnish the home and the husband says, we do not have the money to do it. So they had to wait. The wife went behind her husband's back and asked her father for the money to furnish the house. The husband then came home one day and saw that the house had been furnished. So he asked his wife, what was it about? And she told him what she did. The husband then got upset and told her to return the stuff because he is, woo, ladies, hold on to y'all wigs, y'all eyelashes, and everything else, the baby hair and everything. He told her to return the stuff because he is the man of that doggone house, and no other man should be furnishing his house. He got the final say so because he is the man of that doggone house. That's how I could just imagine that statement being said. What are your thoughts? Is he wrong for feeling that way? Couple, they just bought the house and they it was partially furnished, and they decided to, the husband said, you know what, we can't afford it right now. Just, we got to wait. The wife says, you know what, listen, I'm going to go and I'm going to ask my dad. Ask the dad. The dad furnished the house, and the husband blew a gasket. He blew a gasket, baby. He was like, no, sir, you can take all this ish back. Take this back and return it, because guess what? I am the man of this house, and I said no. And what I say is what goes. Ladies, how would you feel about that? What is he overreacting? First of all, did the husband overreact? You know, it's not like she went out and asked, I don't know. Listen, I'm just gonna say, you know what, sir? You might be a little bit, a little bit going overboard. You may be a little bit overboard. Just, just a little bit. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, But again, the husband, father done bought it. Done bought it. And he said, take that ish back because I'm the man of the house. And I said we can't afford it. You don't challenge my authority. That's what he telling. He said, don't challenge my authority. Do not challenge my authority. Do not. What do you all think about that? Do y'all think that this man lost his everlasting mind, or was he right to feel like that? Was he right to feel like that? What do you all think about that? Was he right? Cliff is saying it's guaranteed she will always go behind his back moving forward. Okay, that's an interesting thought. Lord Tanae is saying she is wrong because that makes him look like he can't take care of his responsibility. That should have been a discussion to ask her father. And then let's see. Cedric is saying a little bit. Okay, guys. Okay, y'all helping me. Y'all helping me. Y'all helping me. Uh, Cliff is saying sometimes women 100% look different with makeup. That's true. But yeah, okay, so I can understand that it might look like the husband cannot afford it. Would I have done that? If I would have probably been like, you know what, if he said no, then I definitely would not go and ask somebody else because of, like you just said, Lord, tonight, it might look like, make the man look like he cannot take care of his responsibility. And I do agree that that is a conversation that could have been had. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, so if my father can do it, so we just gotta sleep on the floor. We gotta eat on the floor. We got the, because your pride is that big. And fellas, I want y'all know. Listen, Cedric, y'all know, y'all can tell me. Cliff, y'all can tell me. Am I looking at this the wrong way? Is your pride that big that we gotta sleep on the floor and eat off the floor because we don't really have no furniture? Your pride is that big before you would let me ask my father? Cedric is saying she disrespected him. Cliff is saying the father will throw it up in his face at some point. Now, Lord Tanae is saying don't bring the father into their affairs. Now, listen, I will say this. If you know that you got your father is messy and he one of them dudes that, or he didn't like your husband and he was just waiting, because he knew you was going to need something from him and then I probably would not ask. I probably would not. But I would want to definitely, Cedric is saying that's a family conversation. I would definitely probably have had a conversation with my husband to ask him how he felt about it. And then if he said no, that I can ask my father, then guess what? I'm going to pout and complain until you see it my way so that we can ask my father, because there's no reason for us to not be able to have the things that we need if my father is able to do it for me. So I'm going to complain and I'm just going to be like, he gonna wake up in the morning. He gonna be like, "Good morning, baby. How you doing?" I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh, my back is hurting so bad. My neck is hurting so bad. I got the biggest headache. Because I did not get no sleep. Sleeping on this air mattress is killing me. But baby, how you doing? How did you sleep well? I'm gonna make some little now. I will be honest with you about that. Your no is not going to come without some type of backlash. I'm gonna respect you, but I'm going to get on your nerves, and one or two things is gonna happen. You gonna take on some more jobs, and you gonna hurry up and furnish this place, or you gonna let me ask my father. But one way or the other, we're gonna get some furniture and we're gonna get it in a quick way, because guess what? You're not gonna have any peace, no type of peace at all until we get that house furnished. But would I put my husband in position to look bad? Never. Wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do anything to jeopardize the husband looking bad. And I don't think that from the tone of the post, I don't think that she intended for to put her husband in a bad light. But again, I always like to say this: men look at things totally different. Like I didn't look at, just as a woman reading this, I didn't see it as a sign of disrespect. But all the men that have said something, it was disrespectful. She should not have done it. So if that's how you guys feel, then I'm riding with how you feel, because you are the man. And again, you are the leader. But we're going to have a little conversation. I'm going to have to say, listen, come closer. You got one more time. I'm the man of the list. Let's talk about that statement right there. I need you to calm down and just gather everything, just gather your senses and just, snap back, because you almost had a big problem up in here, but listen, if you marry me, you already know what comes with it. You already know. Listen, I will never tell a man that I don't talk back, because I do. Now, I don't talk back all the time, but I do, I got some questions, okay? I got some questions. Cliff is saying he will say that's sorry, couldn't even buy you no. This is true. I can definitely see that being a statement that is being said. Lord Tanae is saying, I will agree to pay the money back. That's a good point. That's a good point. I would say, you know what? I go to the father. That's right. See, husbands, go up and tell the father, you know what? Thank you so much for fronting us, and gifting us with this furniture. And I'm definitely going to pay you back the money. I like that. I can roll with that. And Cedric, you saying he could have brung it up differently, but she pretty much said you ain't ish. Woo! She said he ain't. Well, well, maybe she just knew that his pride was so big. I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily want to think that she was saying he wasn't ish. I just would like to think that she knew that, you know what, he not gonna listen. My husband don't listen. My husband is hard-headed, and we need this stuff for the house. We need this stuff because I'm tired of sleeping on the floor. I can't be sleeping on the floor like this. My back is bad. I need a couch to sit on. We need these different things. I can kind of see it like that, but I don't know if she would necessarily be saying that her husband ain't ish. But speaking of people not being ish, what do you all think about this? This lady says she left her daughter in a 24-hour daycare at 10 p.m. so that she can go out for some me time. The woman dropped her daughter off at a 24-hour daycare at 10 p.m. at night. She said, because you know what? I wanted some me time. I needed some me time. I needed to get outside. I needed to do what I needed to do. I needed some adult time. I needed some me time. And so I dropped my daughter off at a daycare, a 24-hour daycare. Ladies, as a mother, fathers, parents, is this something that you would do? Was she wrong for dropping her baby off at the daycare at 10 o'clock at night so she can go out to the club and back that thing up? Was she wrong for doing that? I mean, she did find suitable childcare. Listen, no doubt she probably done ask somebody in the family, done ask Madea, like, listen, I told you, I am done keeping kids. I am not your babysitter. I am not babysitting. Listen, Shawanda, I done babysit. Listen, I love my grandbaby, but I done babysit her 3 weekends in a row. I'm not doing it. You're going to have to find you somewhere else to take her. I'm not doing it tonight. Listen, Mr. Henry is coming over tonight, so I'm not trying to deal with that. Listen, I'm not doing that tonight, Sharitha. I done told you, look, go ahead now, close the door, kiss my grandbaby for me, and listen, let me know if you see Mr. Henry car out there pulling up. But she's like, okay, that's fine. So now I'm gonna take her to a daycare. Cedric is saying, where's her family? And he's saying she's for the streets. Now, as a mother, having been a single mom, there were plenty of times that I wanted to go outside, and I didn't have a babysitter. And I know I wasn't looking for, and I knew of some 24-hour places, but I'm like, it's not. For me, it was not that deep to be trying to go out to find a 24-hour daycare for my child. I'm not, listen, it's not your time to go outside. You should have again, this is where the whole, oh, it's my body. Listen, you got to listen, all of that, when you become a mother, all of that, the burden, the bulk of that child rearing, a lot of times, especially if you are a single mom, a lot of that is going to fall on you. And I don't think that it's right to put your kid in a daycare because you need some me time. You're going to have to get you some me time when they at school. But your extracurricular, that's one of the things, like, unfortunately, you forfeit that. You forfeit a lot of your me time. Should you? I mean, I will hope that you have not burned up your relationship with your family, because that's the only way that I can kind of see a grandmother or an auntie or a friend or somebody totally shutting the door on you or on babysitting your kid. First, it's like, if you always need a babysitter, so that would cause me to question, like, okay, do you really need me time? Because it seems like somebody in your family or your friend, somebody that you trust, if you're not burning those bridges and if you're not overdoing your me time, then I don't see why somebody in your family did not step up to or answer your call when you asked, could you keep the baby for me? I want to get out for a little bit. I can't see a family, but again, she could be a young lady that comes from a toxic family that, or she don't trust. I don't know. If I don't trust my baby with my family, I'm definitely not going outside, because I can't see myself trusting you outside more than I trust my family. And I know if I don't trust my family, I'm definitely not trusting no outsider. I'll just be, in the house and just be like, you know what? I just have to find something else to do. Cedric is saying, boom. Cliff is saying, I can understand the need for some me time so it doesn't lead to depression. That's a good point. But single mothers get depressed, which gets worse. True, very true. And then Cedric is saying responsibility before recreation. Recreating, yes, yes. Listen, before reproducing, before listen, pushing out them things, think about it. You think about that, think about all your plan. But listen, let's be honest, a lot of that is not thought about until after the fact. Lord Tanae is saying, when I had kids, we would discuss who was going out while the other parent stayed home with the kids. And that's a great thing. And that's why I just hope that, we at some point as Black people, we can get better at co-parenting, because we do have a lot of single parent households. We do have a lot of single moms that are truly extremely stressed out, especially when you have multiple kids. Listen, I know, like, I'm the auntie. I'm not keeping multiple kids at one time. I say, listen, we can flip a coin and we can decide who is coming over with auntie this weekend, who's coming this time. Everybody not coming because my nerves are not set up like that. But we're going to give you a break and we're going to help you. But listen, I'm not about to have your kids tap dance on my nerves to give you a break. So, but we have to just definitely do better and fostering a healthy, a healthy co-parenting environment, a healthy co-parenting attitude in the Black community, because when the relationships are over and kids are involved, baby, listen, it's all bets are off. I'm a single mother. Listen, girl, you are not a single mother. If you got the child's father and the father is taking care of his responsibility, just because he's not taking care of you, just because he's not with you, does not mean that you are a single mother. You are a single woman with a child. But if you are getting support from that father, it's not fair to say, oh, I'm a single mother, I'm doing this all by myself. But you pick the kid up from daycare this week, the father picking him up the next week, you flip-flopping, the father is paying child support and then some. You are not a single mother, you a single woman that has a child. It's a big difference. A single mother is doing it all herself. So we have to stop, putting that label on us. And you are not unfortunately, Lord have mercy, a package deal to your baby daddy. It's well within his rights to move on, but still be able to be a father without getting resistance from the child's mother. And I think, again, that's something that we definitely have to start talking about a little bit more, because again, at the end of the day, the kid is the only one that is hurting. So listen, instead of sitting up there and trying to make things hard for your kid's father, if it's possible, listen, you know what, stop worried about who he's dating and start, thinking of using him as a resource. Like, you know what? I'm sitting up here and he out living his best life because he got all this free time. And he been trying to get the kids, or he been trying to get the baby. You know what? I'm going to ease up. He's responsible. I'm going to let him get the baby. And so now you guys work that out. So now you don't have to have a 24-hour, take your baby to a 24-hour daycare, because now you guys are alternating weekends. So now your kid is getting the best of both worlds. Your kid got time with you, and then your kid gets time with the father. And guess what? You get the me time that you need, and your kid gets the bonding time that they need with their father. Cedric is saying, you better say that. And Lord today is saying, everyone needs an outlet to get a break. I definitely I definitely would encourage my lady to go out with her friends to enjoy herself. Absolutely. Now, what if they not together though, Lord today? Because it seems like this is something a single mom that doesn't have that type of relationship. But again, it's good that she does have that as an option. I will say that, because it's better than When some people, when they are depressed, or these mothers get their backs are against the wall and they don't have an outlet and they don't have the help, it's better than them trying to, leave the kid at home because they're just that frustrated. They're just that burnt out and they don't have anybody. The family is not trying to help them. So they do have that as a resource. So I am glad that that is an option. But is it something that I would encourage, women to utilize all the time? No. But again, where you are, how you feel, when you have reached your point and you're just like, man, I'm frustrated. I need a break. I would prefer you to do that than you to lash out and hit your child because you're frustrated or because you're overwhelmed. I would prefer you to do that. I would prefer you to take your kid to a 24-hour sitter opposed to you hurting your child because you're frustrated or because you just really want to go outside. Like Cedric is saying, she for the streets is calling your name. Misty, Misty, it's ladies now. All this craziness that be going on. I would prefer that be an option than the latter, than you to do something to hurt your child and because you needed an outlet, because you needed to get out. So definitely do that. Lord Adair said, bring me the kids. I will always have time if I haven't told her about any prior engagements. And that's good. And again, this is why I'm just like, we need to foster this. We need to, Lord, tonight, we need to make that type of conversation be a normal type of conversation in the Black community. We need to make that normal. So listen, call your baby daddy up. Hey, I was wondering, what, can we talk about, how this co-parenting thing will look? I'm not going to try to run your life. You can't run my life, but let's talk about it so that we can come up with a plan, with something that will possibly work, so I can get a break, so I can be more productive. Because let's be real, once you come back and you rejuvenate, every parent needs a break. When you come back and you rejuvenated, you're better, you're in a better mood, a better attitude, more productive. And that's just common sense. That's just nature. You're in a, you can't sit there just like from your job. You need a vacation from your job. You need to take off from your job. The same thing with parenting. You need a job. Parents need a job. Cedric, you saying your break is the ish that put your tail in that position. Now, see, Cedric, you ain't have to go there talking about some, her break is the reason that she got popped off. It could be. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead on. I'm gonna give me some me time. And now, listen, I will say this. Go have you some fun. Just don't get popped off and come back with another kid that you're going to need another babysitter for. Like, listen, now if you got one and you already know it's hard to get a babysitter, listen, sit your end down, wrap that thing up, forget about it. Leave it be. Leave it be. Forget about it. Don't use it because you already know how the hard time that you have finding a babysitter. It's going to be tough for you. So definitely watch your fertility, guard your fertility, and guard it good. Now, listen, speaking of guarding it good, what are you all's thoughts on this foolishness right here? So this couple, they were living together in a rental property for 2 years. And the man, he has spent, listen to this, $90,000 refurbishing the apartment. He purchased all new furniture. The relationship the relationship ends and the man leaves the home. Do you think the man should be compensated in some way for all the money he spent? Let me sum it up. So a couple, they been living together for 2 years in a rental property. For 2 years, he put $90,000 in the apartment, bought all new furniture and everything. The relationship ends, and the man, he leaves the house. He leaves the rental property. Do you think that this man should be compensated for all of the money he put into the rental property? What do you guys think about that? Should he be compensated, or should he be like, you know what? Listen, your fault, dog. That was on you. I don't even understand how you get that done. Like, where did that come from? So I have questions. I'm just gonna be honest. When I saw $90,000 that you put into a rental property, somebody better own it. She better secretly own that apartment and he don't know about it, because there is no way in the world I would put $90,000 into a rental property. Like, that's a rental property. Cedric is saying, no, he out the game. Lord Tanae is saying, depends on why the relationship ended. I'm not saying I don't think. First, let me just backtrack to, how do you spend $90,000 on a rental property and you don't even have a home? Like, you could have took that $90,000 that you spent to refurbish the rental unit, and you could have, listen, if you didn't have good credit, that $90,000 could have cleaned your credit off, so that you could have went and bought you a house and put the remaining money into a house. But there, I would never suggest putting $90,000 into somebody else's property. I would never advise that. Take that 90,000, clean up your credit if your credit is bad, and then look for purchasing your own stuff and refurbish. Listen, you could have refurbished a whole two flat in some cities and states for $90,000 and still had money left to, to furnish the place. So it depends on where this the property was refurbished, but $90,000 could have got you a nice little piece of property. So that was my first thing. But answering the question, if he left, if they broke up and he put $90,000 into it, why should he not be entitled to, at least some of it? Now I know some of you guys have just said, Jay, I know you have lost your everlasting mind by saying some of it. But my thing is, I'm saying some because you were in a relationship. So should she walk away with absolutely nothing? And I can already see the comments coming. That wasn't his wife. Well, listen, depending on what state they were in, it could be some common law clauses. So don't have me to start pulling out my common law facts and clauses. So y'all just stay simmer down over there. But Cedric is saying that's some wedding bread. Absolutely. Lord Tanae says he could have built a house. Absolutely. He definitely could have. So again, I wouldn't, that's foolish money right there. To me, that was definitely a waste of money. I would not recommend spending $90,000 for a rental property. I'm like, what the heck did you do for a rental? What did you do? What did he get done for that property? Like, what did you spend $90,000 on in a rental? What did you buy? New furniture? And listen, this sounds like some heat. I got some chick that's living above her means and just all kinds of craziness. But the relationship ended. Let's focus on that. The relationship ended. Should he walk away with nothing? I don't think that he should walk away with nothing. I think that he should be entitled to get some of his stuff back. Again, I know you guys may be like, that ain't his wife. He should be able to get everything back. I don't think that he should get everything back because they both live there together. So she got some time invested in the relationship. But I will say that I do think that he should get the bulk of the stuff back. Like, I definitely do think that. But spending $90,000 on a rental property and doing that type of stuff, I think that is foolish spending, and the money could have definitely been spent in other ways. Now listen, you all, look, speaking of other ways, fellas, I'm glad that y'all talking to me today, because this question is for you all. Your boy likes a woman, but she doesn't want him. She wants you. Fellas, is she off limits? So your boys like this chick, but she don't like him. She likes you. Is she off limits? I want to know what's the code. Like, do you guys, what's the code, fellas? She's feeling you. Your homeboy feeling her, but she feeling you. Is she off limits? They've never dated, they've never done anything, but he likes her and she likes you. Is she off limits? Let me know, fellas. What does that look like right there? What does that situation look like for this woman that is that's crushing on you, but your boy is crushing on her, and she like, yeah, I'm good, not interested, but thank you very much. Thank you for for offering and all of this other bull junkie. Thank you, for being concerned, but yeah, no, I'm personally not with it. That's what she's telling your boy. She like, nah, he cool and all, but it's a no-go for me. Hey, Sparkly, how you doing? Lord Tanae is saying, I'm not falling into that trap. I don't want that smoke. Cedric is saying, fair game. I'm just saying. Listen, I would kind of think that too, that she would be fair game. Now, Cedric, why is she fair game? Lord Tanae, why would there be smoke? Hey, Sparkle, how you doing? Why would there be smoke and why is she fair game? Because I can see it from both sides, but I want to know, like, okay, if she's not with, she's not with your friend, she doesn't like your friend, she likes you. So why can you not, as Cedric said, why can she not, why is that situation not free game? Why is it not fair game? Because your friend likes a woman, but the woman is not liking your friend. So why is she not fair game to you if she's not, if she's not feeling the same way about your friend? Why is she not fair game? I want to know that. Why is she not fair game? Why do you have to miss out on what could be your blessing because your friend got his underwear all in a tizzy? Now you can't date nobody. You can't date the chick. You single, she's single, but since your friend, oh, I like her old girl bad, but she don't like you and she's made it clear. But somewhere along the rainbow, you thinking that she gonna change her mind and she just gonna start liking it, and feeling you. But she's letting you know that, I'm not, I'm cool on you, but I like your friend. Is she off limits? Cedric is saying, ain't no ring on either her or my finger. Lord Tanae is saying, I want to keep my friend because he is my friend for a good reason. I can respect that. But what if you missing out on the woman that could potentially be for you? Think about that part. So let me know about that part. What if she could be the woman that could be for you, the woman that you have been waiting for? And you're like, you're such a good dude. And you're like, you know what? Man, I can't even do it. I'm not even gonna do it because that's my boy, that's my good friend, and I don't want to ruin our friendship. And so you keep and you hold on to that and you stay and you keep the friendship, but you don't know what you could possibly be missing out on with this woman because she could be the one for you. Or is it no chance that no, she ain't the one because my friend like her, so she can't be the one for me? Lord today is saying he will get the one shot deal. I don't think she is off limits. Cedric is saying, hate the player, not the game. hate the play, not the player. I would think the same way, guys, though, to be honest. Like, I would think that if it's just a simple like, you like her, but she's not feeling you, then I don't think that there's anything wrong with you all dating or seeing each other. I don't think that she should be off limits. But I do think that, now listen, you know how some of these people have dated years ago? I don't care how long I dated. you. I don't want nobody I know, my friends, you can't date one of my exes. I'm sorry. If it's an ex, then no. All exes are off limits, in my opinion, forever. You off limits. I don't want to date your ex. You cannot date my ex. I don't care how long ago. It could have been my ex from preschool. You better leave Jermaine the Dookie Stain alone. That was my Dookie Stain. You better leave him alone. That was my Dookie Stain. That's the name I gave. You better leave him alone. You cannot not date my ex. But if it was just somebody that I liked and they didn't have the same feelings for me, then no. No, that person is definitely free game. But Jermaine the Dookie Stain from 3rd grade, he is off limits, and you better find you somebody else to play with. You better leave Jermaine the Dookie Stain alone, because that was my ex from pre-K or 3rd grade, and you cannot date him. I don't care if we are in 30 plus age range. You cannot date Jermaine the Dookie Stain. But if it's a dude that I liked and he didn't like me, or if it's a chick that I liked and she didn't like me, then those people, in my opinion, are definitely, like the fella said, fair game. Cedric is saying he should be happy she knew what it was from the jump. Lord Tanae is saying, I'm not crazy, so I will make that judgment if that ever happens. Absolutely. I'm like, again, as long as there was never, see, I would have to ask, because today, you know what? People, they do some slick stuff. So you got to ask them, did y'all ever have any relations? You got to ask the same question in a whole lot of different ways, because again, if you could be talking to a chick that they use protection. And so she don't consider him as counting, because she don't consider him as a body, because they use protection, or he lasts 3 minutes. So you got to ask and just make sure there was no physical contact. But if there was no physical contact and there was no relationship, then I think that it should be all good. Cedric, you're saying that far back? Absolutely. Absolutely. Jermaine the Dookie Stain is mine. He can go off and have another family and all this and that. That's fine. But he cannot be with you. Jermaine the Dookie Stain belongs to me. Guys, listen. We're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're getting into our topic for the evening: exposing toxic relationships. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Felt like we were on the same page. Meant to believe we'd be together someday. From FaceTime calling the dates, you play pressure me. Yeah. I'm in too deep, my feelings keep getting stronger. Is it all in my head? Your actions showing me different. Don't expect me to be faithful without commitment. You talk to who you want while my heart's involved. I'm sick of it. Not your one and only. It's really killing me that with you I gotta share. I don't like what you do to me, baby. Why can't you be fair? Me only, we've discussed this. Let's just stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time. You know and I know this don't even feel right. Do you even love me? Your actions not showing me. I don't like what you do to me, baby. Why can't you be fair? Me only, we've discussed this. Let's just stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting each other's time. Let's stop wasting It's time.
It look good. Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Now listen, while you at it, go right around the corner. Boop. Go to YouTube, thejspot.com. Follow and listen, subscribe to our channel there. Go to TikTok, like and follow us there, the J Spot, Jaye. Guys, listen. Tonight we are talking about exposing toxic relationships. Ooh, child, listen, I think that if you are in the 30 plus age range and you have managed to avoid a toxic situation, a toxic relationship, man, you are rare and you are blessed and highly favored. Because let me tell you, these folks out here are crazy. Now, here's the thing. What is a toxic relationship? It's the relationship that causes your tongue to get tied, just like my tongue just got tied. But according to an online source, a toxic relationship is a relationship, Lord, and it does, that just sucks the life out of you, sucks the energy out of you, the happiness. It just takes everything out of you. But guess what also happens in those toxic relationships? You stay. A lot of people stay. These relationships are just downright stressful. It's no longer romantic because it's so much foolishness that's going on. Listen, if your eye starts twitching when that person starts to call you, listen, that may be a sign it's time to get up out of that. When I think of toxic relationships, I tend to think of relationships that are full of constant lying, cheating, arguing, and even physical fighting. But then I'm going to also add on relationships where there is no communication. You got playing games, you got stringing along. You 1 minute you in love with them and you want to be with them, the next minute you don't know who they are. That type of stuff. Anything that causes stress on the other person is toxic. Anything that puts a frown on your face is toxic. Anything that breaks your heart is toxic. Cedric is saying it's not productive at all. Absolutely. Anything that's not productive or it's not moving forward is toxic. If you have been in a relationship for 10 years, 5 years, and you are still at the same place, same place meaning there has been no growth in that relationship, I would say that there's toxic because relationships have growth. If you are in a relationship or you're dealing with somebody and you've been dealing with somebody 5 years, 3 years, and you have to ask yourself, what are we doing? What are we? Or you constantly find yourself asking that other person, what is that? What are we? You are in a toxic situation. You are in a toxic relationship because a relationship that is built on substance, a relationship that is built on truth, a relationship that is built on honesty and that has a foundation, it doesn't bring you all those toxic things. Now, that's not to say that relationships don't have problems because every relationship have problems. Listen, if you get two people, somebody's going to have attitude. It's going to be some stuff. Always, no relationship is 100% perfect. I wouldn't want a relationship. Like I saw I saw the an article where it said Alicia Keys, she said her and Swiss Beats, in like the 14 or 15 years that they have been married, they have never had an argument. I said, baby, that's because he don't care. Somebody lying, and somebody is scared to ask the truth. Somebody, they're not being themselves, because I cannot see being in a relationship, being married for 15 years and to never have had an argument. Listen, you gonna argue because you gonna fuss at him because he done left the seat up. You gonna fuss at him because it's gonna, listen, you asked him to bring the black walnut and he brought butter pecan. It's going to be some fussing. And I feel like if there's no fussing, if there's never been any type of argument, I don't think you keeping it real with each other. I don't think that you guys, they have exposed who they truly are. You're just tiptoeing around the relationship. And I mean, 15 years, that's a long time. Listen, 15 years, you arguing over stuff just because of the way that they breathe. I don't like the way you breathe. You need to stop breathing like that. Breathe through your nose and not through your mouth. Why you gotta chew like that? Being together 15 years, listen, all the annoying stuff has come out at that point. And you mean to tell me that in 15 years, you love everything there's nothing about them that will get on your nerves, nothing that makes you want to young them upside the head in 15 years. I personally find that hard to believe. But if that is really the case, then listen, y'all need to write a book and tell people how y'all doing it. Because again, after 15 years, I already know I'm gonna get tired of hearing my husband breathe. I'll be like, listen, do you have to breathe like that? Just stop breathing. Baby, if I stop breathing, I'm gonna not be here. Well, you know what? Listen, can you breathe from the other room right now? And then for me, I know. Listen, I already know he gonna be like, listen, with your big mouth and your big forehead. I'm like, listen, baby, you didn't marry from a forehead now. I'm see, but it's gonna be some stuff because you know who you are. Nobody's. I know I'm gonna have some stuff. Now we may have some crazy arguments that normal people may not, have arguments about. I'll be like, listen, why are you chewing like that dog off Beethoven? See, but it's gonna be something. He gonna be like, you know what? Why do you keep sucking on your teeth like that? Why do you keep doing that? So it's going to be something that is going to cause, there to not be a pleasant conversation. But it shouldn't be to the point where, you guys despise being around each other. Sparkle is saying inconsistency, breadcrumbing, stop communicating, and ghosting me for months, and I let it go. I totally agree with that. And that's definitely toxic. She's also saying, exactly, get that ice cream. You know what? Listen, you better get that ice cream right, because if you don't, you can't come back. Listen, you can't come back up in here, because that means you wasn't listening to me. He gonna be like, I was listening, but you always talking. See that right there? That's gonna be an argument. So I don't see how you can get 15 years without an argument. But okay, but if they saying that, I'm gonna agree with them on not having an argument. Cedric is saying, if you're not willing to freely sacrifice your other half, takes toxic. If you're not willing to freely sacrifice your other half, takes toxic. Well, true. Do you have to smack or chew like that? Absolutely. Listen, Sparkle, I'm telling you, that is so me. I'm like, look, I'm going to be so annoying because I already know I'm going to get somebody that's annoying. And we have to know that we're going to annoy each other. But we're going to be just like they used to do off of In Living Color. And we still together. We're going to get on each other's nerves. Listen, he going to sit up there. He gonna know I'm looking for my contact lenses, and he gonna pour them down the toilet, and no, I can't see without my contact lenses. And then he gonna come and he gonna be looking for the little gray hat and shampoo, and I'm gonna put some baby shampoo up in there. And he gonna be washing his hair, so we gonna be doing crazy stuff like that to each other. But guess what? We gonna still be together. Pretty Tasha saying, right, when a guy ghosts me and I become inconsistent, I move on too. And Cedric, you saying for your other half. I agree with this ghosting stuff. To me, that ghosting is a huge, huge toxic thing that people have picked up nowadays. It's just like, if you don't want to be there, just free yourself. Like, why go through all of the time? So not only do you ghost, but then you come back like you haven't done anything, like you haven't been there. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing with that, with that type of, with that type of behavior? And then let's not get the lack of communication. So ghosting and a lack of communication today are definitely big toxic things. But here's the thing, what causes relationships to become toxic? Well, I would think that sometimes people go into relationships and they're already toxic. You already see the signs and the red flags where you all should not be together, but you still go forward with it. So what causes a relationship to be toxic? You guys were already toxic before y'all got together. Now you're just a chemical combustion, because you crazy over here and he's crazy over here. And now y'all done brought all that undealt with crazy together. And now it's just a chemical combustion. So what caused the relationship to be toxic? Both of you all entering into the same relationship. If you have not healed from your past relationship traumas, childhood traumas, and if you're not even aware or addressing them things, that it shows up in relationships. It shows up in marriages. And you have to be grown enough, insane enough, and aware enough to acknowledge, yeah, oh man, oh God, that's my crazy right there. That is, oh, that's me right there. Listen, I will go off in a hot butterfly second. I will be just like that. You got to know who you are, and a lot of us don't know who we are. Sparkle was saying, when he called me trying to spin the block, I was like this, Papa John's, how may I help you? And they will do that too, like they haven't done anything. But again, that's that toxic ish. They know that they want to be with you, but they not ready to give up the streets, but they want you to sit up there and keep on waiting so that they'll give you a little hope, just enough to keep you holding on. You got to make a decision. Are you going to keep holding on to this toxic craziness, or are you going to just let them go and let them be crazy on their own? And Cedric, you're saying you ain't got a lie to kick it. Just be real. Absolutely, positively. But a lot of people are not going to do that. Listen, we don't even want to be honest with ourselves. We don't even want to say, self, you crazy and you got some issues to deal with. See, that's why I'm my own best friend, because I know. I sometimes I get on my own nerves, because I be like, you know what, Jamala, that is just too extra. It's just too, listen, when you extra and you know it, I know it. I tell people but I'm extra in little quirky ways. But I know my extra, like the way I drink my coffee. You all, I wish I was lying, but let me tell you, I'm so extra in that area too. It's not even funny. Like, I need my coffee the same. I need it the same exact way. I need to make my stuff the way I need to make it, and it has to be right, and I don't need any help. And if it's not done right, then I know I am extra. So that right there, I know myself. So I know the things that I'm extra about. I know I know my crazies, because there are quite a few, but you got to know yourself. And I know that Dr. Schlewinski is looking for me like, okay, come on, come. It's time for you to come back on this couch. But I don't want to be 100% fixed, because Some of my crazies, I like my crazies, and they just work for me. So I'll deal with the trauma things, but my crazies that annoy other people, but I'm perfectly fine with, like, you just gonna have to get over that. Like, we cannot even do it. Sparkle, I even asked him if he was bipolar before dating. Now, good doggone well, they ain't gonna let you. Got to look at their medicine cabinets, go to the house in the bathroom and look through their stuff and see what kind of medicine that they taking. Take a picture of it or remember the words. Try to remember the name and then look it up, and then you can see what the medicine is for. If it's too many bottles in there, something is wrong. You either on your way out of here or you crazy. Something is going on. If it's a lot of medicine in the medicine cabinet, it's something going on. Is it something that we need to talk about? I'm like, you know what? Maybe we need to talk. Maybe we need to talk. But that's the thing too. When there's mental illnesses running in people's family, we don't even talk about that. Listen, baby, we done hung off the chandeliers and they ain't told you that they family, listen, well, my father is schizophrenic, like off of Purple Rain, my mama crazy, my daddy crazy, listen, you need to talk about that. People need to know what they getting involved in. At what point do people need to know that it's some mental issues before y'all do the horizontal mumbo, before feelings start to get involved? Because once feelings are involved in, people don't really make the right decisions because now your feelings are involved. I love him, I love her. Ma'am, he's talking to the wall, he's seeing stuff at night. She hears voices and don't nobody else hear them. It's something wrong. We need to talk about that. I don't think that mental illness is toxic, but I think that though it can lead to toxic behaviors that if you don't talk about that, then one will not know that you have mental illnesses. And so they may chalk that up as being toxic, but really you just need some help. Now, listen, some people need the help. That's going to require a jacket and a prescription, and a 30 to 60-day stay at a secured facility, with a white jacket and, you under 24-hour observation. Some situations may require that. Just going to tell you. Somebody might require that. Okay? Just going to let you know that. Cedric, you said, I got to mess with you, Jamela. Bustelo coffee. You still ain't tried it yet. That's being toxic. Cedric, you are right. See, that's what I keep saying. I'm going to taste it. But see, if I don't like it, then I'm going to be mad at you. See, that's just how it's going to be. I'm going to be like, you know what? Now I got to get mad at Cedric because he done told me to drink this coffee and it turned out to be too strong and my cream can't even. Now I'm going to have to be mad at you. And I don't want to be mad at you, Cedric. So you say, knowing you're crazy, I know my crazy. I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be like, you know what? Cedric done been with me all these years, but I'm mad at Cedric. I am so mad at Cedric. And I will tell you that. So I'm not trying to be mad at you, Cedric. So that's why I haven't tried it yet. But when I tried, if I tried, I'm like, you know what? I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have tried this. Cedric done sent me off. That's what and then I'm going to be up at the store saying, and you know what? Because I be talking to the cashiers, listen, I bought this nasty coffee because Cedric told me to buy. He said it was good. Now look at here. Now I got to bring it back because I knew it wasn't going to be good. And Cedric, I don't feel like talking like that in the store. I already have enough going on in these stores and restaurants anyway. Sparkle, you said, and he started talking about threesomes. I was like, it's time to go. Tell him to have the threesome with his third person, his other personality, him and his personalities. They can have all the threesomes that they want. Cedric, you laughing. Listen, I'm telling you, Cedric, that coffee game be real. Lord today is saying we are all different, but you have to be willing to accept the differences of the other person. If it's an issue that they need help with, then suggest what can help change the situation before it becomes toxic. Absolutely. See, Lord today, you are definitely the voice of reasons, and I appreciate that. Now, here's the thing. Here are a few sides of a toxic relationship. The first one is the relationship gets physical. That's always That's toxic. That's just toxic 101 right there, baby. It's physical. You all are arguing, fighting, whether it's physical or verbal, mental abuse, physical abuse, any form of abuse, that is a toxic situation. That's a toxic relationship. You need to go to your separate corners and get somebody in there to help you all figure that out. And sometimes when it gets physical, sometimes you have to like remove yourself from the situation until it's resolved. So if you're in a situation, a toxic, abusive situation, and it's not safe to be there, you got to know when it's, you know what, listen, it's time for me to remove myself from this situation, because what you don't want to do is mess around and get hurt in a situation like that. So anytime it's physical, that's time. That's a whole, that's toxic that's toxic to the 1,000th degree. And that's time to make some changes to figure out how to exit this situation. The relationship is one-sided. This one person, they in a relationship, they put more into it than the other person is. And again, sometimes, listen, here's how it's one-sided. You in it, and they still trying to figure out what they want. If you're married and the relationship is one-sided, oh, that's really, really toxic, because how did you all get there? Because you had to be on one accord at some point, because you both showed up to get married. So in those situations, I'm a big fan of therapy. I'm a big fan of counseling. We listen, Black people, it's okay. It's okay to talk to somebody to help them, to help so they can help you sort out what might be going on up here. It's okay to talk to somebody. We all need a little touch up and a little tune up every now and again. You know, your car needs gas to run right. It needs an oil change, and it don't need an oil change all the time, but it needs an oil change. It needs a tune up. And that's just how we are in life. Your brain, your heart needs a tune up. Your brain needs a tune up. You need to be able to talk to somebody, to, especially if you've dated a lot and you've been hurt a lot in these relationships. You need to talk to somebody so that you can unpack all of that hurt, all that anger, all that pain. You need to talk to somebody so that you can help, figure out what happened and what went wrong. And you know what? Also figure out what you did. What you did wrong. I know a lot of people, oh, I'm perfect. I'm perfect. I ain't never did nothing wrong. But how did you add to it? You could have added to it by staying too long. You could have added to it by enabling their bad behavior. So that's another thing that therapy will help you figure it out. But we got to figure that out. We got to get good with talking with somebody. Your partner, listen, this is toxic. This is a big one that's starting to be on the rise. One person want kids and the other one don't. To me, you all, I think to me, that's a deal breaker. There's no reason why two people should be together if one wants kids and the other one doesn't. That's just grounds for toxic energy. Get that situated. So those are things that should be talked about ahead of time, and don't make it seem like, ladies, if he's like, oh, I'm done having kids, I don't want no more kids, or whoever says that. If you know that you want kids, don't act like you're okay with that. And then you get with them and now you complaining about it, but you said that you were okay with it. He doesn't want a woman with kids. But then you get with a woman with kids and then you bash her and you tear her down. That is some toxic ish. Get out of that. Why did you get with a lady that has kids and you know you don't like women with kids? Ladies, stop trying. Listen, if a man says he does not like kids, he don't want kids, or he don't want to be around another man's kids, get out of there. There's nothing for you there. He's not the man for you. because he doesn't want kids. You bringing somebody else's responsibility to the table, and he's not on board with that. So we got to be mindful, and we got to listen to what people are saying, and we got to look at the whole entire situation. When you're a parent, you got to do what's best, not only for you, but for your kids. So it's so many toxic situations that we walk into. But some of these situations can be avoided if we stop trying to make everything fit. Again, the moment somebody tells you something and you know that you don't fit that requirement or that criteria, let it go. Let it go. Stop trying to force things. You go out with a man, you see his profile. He said he don't want kids. You on a dating site, and so you going out with this man. Now you've been going out with him for 3 months, 4 months, and you ain't told him you had no kids. Y'all done did the horizontal mumbo, done fell in love and all this and that. Now he's loving you. So now you come to him, babe, I have a secret to tell you. I got something to tell you. You know, I got some kids. Now he fell in love with your raggedy behind. So now he don't want to let you go. A lot of dudes will just let you go off GP off the fact that you lied to him. But say, for instance, this man decides to stay around. He not going to trust you. And he's going to resent you because you lied to him and you put him in a situation where now he has to accept something that he doesn't really want to accept because you lied to him and you led him on. So it's like we have to do better with being upfront and just, you know what, accepting the situation for what it is and just being grown enough to say, you know what, I'm not their cup of coffee. They looking for something else. I thought that we could have connected. I thought that we could have matched, but they don't want this, this, and this. So you have to get good at eliminating yourself from situations that could potentially be toxic. You got to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself first, then how are you going to possibly love somebody else? Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page, like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. While you're at it, go right around the corner. Go to YouTube.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe to our channel there. That's the jspot.com. And then go to TikTok, like and follow us there. The J Spot. Again, Jay is Jaye. Guys, turn on the notification bell for all